Hey guys, thank you for joining me today. Welcome to Earth Tribe. I hope everyone's having a beautiful, wonderful, excellent day. All right. First off, apologies for skipping a week, but just been getting ready for my trip to Europe next week. What? Gonna keep the videos coming. Hopefully, it'll just look a little bit different. Speaking of looking a little bit different, I'm trying a couple different things right now, so bear with me as I still figure out my style, studio, and setup, and all that good stuff. All right. With all that being said, let's jump into the main course of today. I want to talk about lifting each other up. I think we live in a world where we're so critical of each other. We're so critical of ourselves, and it's so very harmful to in so many ways. And I think it causes us to have to prove ourselves, and that means we do things that aren't conducive to who or what we are, that go against good morals or good ethics, and you know, and that could be harmful in that way. But also, from a mental health standpoint, it's very hard to move through this world with the programming of constantly needing to compare yourself. Um, you shouldn't have to. You are an incredible, beautiful, amazing piece of magic delivered by this universe onto this planet to fulfill a plethora of roles, including to be a community member, to be a friend, to be a family member, to be a caregiver, to be a listener. Um, there's so many things that we are beyond the scope of what this society tries to define us as. We want to label ourselves and put ourselves in little boxes and call ourselves by our career paths. But in reality, that comes from that comparative mind. So this, I think, okay, so back it up. Where this, I think this, and I mentioned this before, I think this kind of starts with school and the concept of grading, and how we kind of instill in ourselves when we're so young this idea that we're going to be compared to others in a very mathematical and calculated way, in a very like dry cut, cut and dry kind of way. And uh, it persists. It's a daily thing. It's a yearly thing, and that's the paradigm that we exist in all the way through our schooling years, and then it's so ingrained in us, and uh, it's just so debilitating. So some people are very fortunate; they come from good families, and they have good friends who've always uplifted them, but not everyone is so lucky. In fact, most aren't so lucky, um, because even the people who love us, as they try to help us, they actually sometimes hurt us by these comparisons and telling us we need to be a certain way, or we need to do certain things. They think they're helping, but they're just increasing that kind of self-reflection and self-judgment, not self-reflection, but self-judgment, self-criticism. And it's very difficult to achieve anything when you don't believe in yourself. So I think the importance of lifting up your friends and your community cannot be overstated. And everybody's going to say, well, what about me? And that's not how we escape the problems we face, is with a me first approach, because that's how we've gotten to these problems. What we have to understand is we need to put out into the world what we want to receive. So, and I'll tell you, it feels good to be lifted up. when you have community that says you're awesome, you're doing amazing. And by the way, guys, you watching at home, you guys are awesome. You're amazing. You're doing great in life, and I love you. Anyway, fun little aside, but back to it. If you believe these things about yourself, you express differently. You move through life differently, right? And if you put this out into the world, it comes back. People pick that up. So much of what we do, everything we do is things that we've picked up from other people, right? We see somebody who we think deserves our respect. They have a certain charisma and a certain charm, and we start picking up their mannerisms. Is like especially true when we're younger, That's how we're built. So that's how we spread it. We become these amazing beings, loving beings that make people feel amazing, that elicits respect, and we do so by uplifting people. And when we uplift each other, we tend to achieve crazy things. And there's another beautiful thing about it, because your mind gets kind of wrapped up in the narrative, and it's like you're rooting for a sports team. The outcome of a game that your team is in affects your mood, right? It affects your, so if you're lifting somebody up, you become invested. And if they start succeeding and doing great things, and you start to see them really shining and excelling and being an amazing human being, you start to feel like excitement. You start to cheer for them, like, yeah, go, because it feels like it's part of your team. And this is really I think one of the most important aspects of the tribal aspect that we've lost in modern day life is just that ability to, or just that experience of somebody walking up to you randomly and just being like, hey, look at you. Aren't you an amazing human being, for this thing you did, or for the way you walk, or for the way you talk, or for the way you handled that situation, If there was more of that, if we really built our society on that, instead of the comparisons, if we built it on genuine, like, uplifting energy, I think this world will be totally different. So with that being said, I'll wrap this up and say, go out into the world, spread the love, lift up your friends, neighbors, and family. Lift everybody up. Do it with a smile. Tell them you love them. Tell them how awesome they are. Tell them how good that meal was. Tell them how awesome that painting they did last week was. Whatever it is, just tell them how awesome they are. Tell them they're doing great. Tell them they're nailing this life thing. Because guess what? They're not only doing it, but so are you. Let's go. We'll see you later, Earth Tribe. Thank you so much. And if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. I'm still young in this game, but I'm just trying to do my thing, So I think the content's going to keep getting better, but it's just, it always comes from the heart, and always, I think, is meaningful. So with that said, take care, guys. We'll see you on the next one.